See Magnus Carlsen, Erigaisi fighting for a comeback. He cannot lose this game, but the bar is over to Magnus' side after 20 moves. What are we looking at?
Yeah, it looks, on the face of things, quite a standard position, but I think this firstly came from a Najdorf Sicilian, or at least it looks that way. But secondly, a few small factors. Firstly, the queens are about to come off the board, I was about to say, and then he dodges it. It's about the bishops as well. White's bishop stuck, staring at its own pawns. It's what we call a bad bishop when it's blocked in. Black's bishop very, very strong. And despite the fact Black's king is in the centre, it's holding the fort. The centre blocked means it's very safe. White has no plan. Black has an easy plan. Just kick away this knight. And oof, this is an ugly move to have to play for Erigaisi. Maybe it's the best one, or maybe it's what he had to do, moves the rook across, but now he's just staring behind a pawn. Rooks hate this, right? Mm-hmm. And the whole idea is that now after the pawn push, at least the knight has an escape square. It doesn't really want to go to the edge of the board, so it retreats, and maybe on a good day, it could start jumping out, but to fresher pastures, but it's still a bit sad.
Can you get greedy?
Oh, Jovanka, that's so greedy.
I know.
Magnus is going to take this pawn.
Normally, I would never, ever think about taking that pawn. But the whole kind of premise is that if you try to trap it, I'm just going to go, well, the joke's on you, my friend, because I'm going to capture it.
Yeah. I'll say the other dude.
Do we quite like this, like, stick your finger in the socket? Yeah, I kind of do.
Magnus did get greedy, and I think he's justified in doing so. We should mention that previous variation we just showed, it does work. Black's bishop isn't trapped, but 9 times out of 10, you don't really want to go and grab a pawn like that one, because you will get your piece trapped behind enemy lines. So this time it didn't quite work for Erigaisi. But what do you think of his last move, Jovanka? Pushing this pawn forward, is he just trying to confuse Magnus?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you've got to roll the dice, otherwise Magnus's forces are just simply overrunning his own. So, I mean, get active. I mean, the Black King is potentially a little bit unsafe.
Yep.
So if...
It doesn't feel great, this Black King in the centre, necessarily.
There was only one move that I think Black should never have played, and that was actually to push the B pawn forward. Mm-hmm. Then you voluntarily trap your own bishop. Just don't do that.
Now, you might not lose your bishop here, but it definitely won't participate in the rest of the game. So Magnus found a really nice solution. Another one I wouldn't have chosen, White's pawn push, was 2 squares, so you can actually legally capture en passant. You can take it as if it just moved 1 square, but this would have only allowed the White knight back into the game.
In some of the previous tournaments, yeah, it's just that if you sometimes, want to win with White very badly, then, such disasters may happen. And also, of course, the second game was kind of crucial because I wasn't better in that game, but I think I won basically because of I'm kind of more used to playing on all time, and I think I'm just cooler, so that prevailed in the end.
Very impressive, though. And we are following Game 3, Arjun Erigaisi against Magnus Carlsen. You will face the winner of this match, and if Magnus wins this game...
his position looks very nice. He's clearing command, and also, because he's leading, right? 1.5 to half, so if I'm not mistaken, so yeah, it's like 99% Magnus for sure tomorrow. Yeah, of course, if I play good chess in this tournament, then most likely I will face Magnus. I don't think Magnus will be as mercy. I think the history doesn't matter at all, to be honest, and to play the best chess I can.
Yeah, it's going to be a very cool match. We wish you best of luck tomorrow, Jan Christoph.
It looks that way. What do you think, Jovanka? Any saving chances here for Arjun?
Just during that interview with Jan Christoph Duda, we just saw Magnus's position just get better and better. And now he has a rook on the second row. That rook just cannot be captured. He has a beautiful knight on f6, targeting a pawn. I don't see anything.
Yeah, it's essentially a good knight versus bad bishop scenario. White's still been left with that terrible bishop. It looks like a big pawn just defending everything. And yeah, as you say, the final, I mean, that rook, it's never, ever going anywhere. It's just a thorn in white's side. You can never take it because black will just replace it with a pawn and promote. And if the queens disappear, I mean, if they don't, first of all, you just take this pawn. If they do disappear, then this is just coming. You can never, ever take this rook, remember, because black makes a new queen. Okay, he's really trying to park the bus now. Again, Erigaisi just putting his rook on this square, but your plan, Jovanka, maybe again, move the queen across, or worst comes to worst, if you want to keep things simple, reroute this knight around to a slightly more active square.
Yeah, and
he goes for your option.
Yeah, he goes for my option. And I think the best thing to do is actually trade off queens.
Yeah.
Because if you allow the queen to grow pawn grabbing, it's not going to be good news. It's not good news anyway.
Yeah, but I just don't see how you stop this pawn, really. Cement this rook. Cemento.
Cemento.
As Peter Lecker would say, and I think we might see this on the board. The problem is you can't take this rook because these two pawns, they'll probably just become two queens. Arjun, he's fighting till his last breath, but I think we're going to see the black pawn step forward. Okay, he doesn't go for it yet. That's not running away. Never let Arjun get active. This game, never let Arjun get active. Still strategically very complicated. Lots of pieces on the board earlier. Your idea now, Jovanka, cement that rook. That black rook is just, I mean, it's...
Oh, and you can see the pain on Erigaisi's face. Oh.
Yeah, I was laughing about that rook, but actually, yeah, it's difficult to see when a player knows they're about to go down to defeat. It's inevitable now.
Yeah.
The black rook too strong.
And the king does move over.
But the knight is coming. Just leave that rook where it is.
Yeah, and here you go. Magnus is such a killer. He's so ruthless in these type of positions. He's not going to let this slip at all. And now the pawn on e4 is going to fall. And with it, the game.
Yeah.
Just devastated. Been playing so good in the whole tournament. He ended up above Magnus Carlsen in the preliminaries in 4th place. But he's just such a tough nut to crack in a match.
Yeah. And again, Arjun trying to curl up into a ball, just putting his pieces on their last safe squares. But white is almost in zugzwang. White can barely move. I'm expecting Magnus to do something with his king now. I don't think you want to rush and trade off rooks. I don't think you want to rush and move the black knight away, because then white's rook will gobble up the d pawn.
Yeah.
So giving up a pawn.
I was wondering about this. Anything to get the king into the game.
Yeah.
And, OK.
King is coming.
King is coming. And it's going to go all the way to the 3rd row.
Yeah.
Nothing to do.
Arjun is completely paralysed. You still can't take that black rook because black will take back and make a new queen.
Is this where you just don't want to move any pieces? Every move kind of worsens your position?
This is where you'd like to have like magical moves, but you'd like to kind of magically transport your king.
Ooh. That would be a cool chess variant.
Yeah.
Just once during every game, you can just place a piece anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
You think you got me? No, you don't.
But then you have like this new game coming, Annie Chess.
Yeah, that's true.
Where
There's
you're
a
going to
bunch of
have the
stuff like that.
magical ideas.
Yeah, yeah. You can
Once
use
a game.
magic and spells.
Yeah, you can freeze your opponent from moving once again.
Yeah, this is what you would like to do. This is what Erigaisi would like. Freeze Magnus and then have like 5 moves.
The problem is, even if you can sit still and not commit anything with white, black's got a clear plan. Black's king is coming towards the white rook. It's 1 square away now from attacking that white rook. And that will tip the defences over the edge. Simply nothing to do. If you push the white pawns, the black king will happily just take a timeout and go and take them back first, and then the black king will come in.
And it's nice to see a tweet like that from Amrit Patak, who says, you know, sad but super proud of Arjun. So, yeah, he is a star in the making, and this is just another lesson to be learned. We've seen Arjun come back stronger. He's going to do it again.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Only 19 years old. We started with 3 Indians in the knockout stage. Vidit is already knocked out by Duda. Erigaisi about to be knocked out. Can Gukesh make it to the semi-finals to be the only Indian to do so?
Yeah, and Magnus, this is just putting the boot in now. He's actually ignoring white's pawns. White could even make a new queen, but he's going for checkmate. And yeah, the problem is the white king is completely stuck. You can give up the white rook, go with some pawns.
Shall we show the checkmate
Yeah,
on the
we can show it
board?
on the board. I think we might see a resignation any moment, but okay, he's going to try and make a new queen. Magnus is going to take this rook, and he's going to trap the white king by bringing his rook across. White can make a new queen, but too slow. The king is trapped. And we'll see, okay, similar to this at least, happen on the board right now. This king, nowhere to go. And we see Magnus play that move in the current position. He is threatening the killer blow, pushing the pawn forward. Checkmate. And there we go.
over.
We have a result.
The quarterfinal match is over. Magnus Carlsen wins it in 3 games. Arjun Erigaisi, he looks devastated, but he put up a good fight. He almost won the first game, but Magnus fought back to draw that game. And winning 2 games in a row, Magnus Carlsen is ready for the semi-finals.